Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So continuing with the appearance of Sukadeva Goswami, text number 34 onwards. Sannidhyate Mahayogin Tatakani Mahantyapi Sadhyo Nashyanti Vaikunsam Vishnorev Suretaraha. Just as the atheist cannot remain in the presence of personality of Godhead, so also the invulnerable sins of a man are immediately vanquished in your presence, O saint, O great mystic. So this Parikshit Maharaja Goswami. Purport. There are two classes of human beings, namely the atheist and the devotee of the Lord. The devotee of the Lord, because of manifesting, the atheist is called a demon. The demon cannot stand the presence of Vishnu, the personality of Godhead. The demons are always busy in trying to, as soon as the personality of Godhead appears, by either its transcendental name, form, attributes, pastimes, paraphernalia, or variegatedness, the demon is at once vanquished. It is said that a ghost cannot remain as soon as the holy name of the Lord is chanted. The great saints and devotees of the Lord are in the list of his paraphernalia. And as soon as the saintly devotee is present, the ghostly sins are at once vanquished. So this is the power of association of a saintly devotee. Not just the sins are vanquished, but in fact the inclination to commit sinful activity also goes on. There's so much of purity, so much of vibrations they have, so much of influence they can have on a person. Just like Narad Muni, there's a story in Chaitanya Charitamrita that there was a hunter, his name was Mrigari. Mrigari is an enemy of the animals. So now he used to kill animals half dead, and he would just leave them suffering in the forest, and slowly they would die, and this would really give him lots of pleasure. So Narad Muni happened to pass by that place, and seeing Narad Muni, first of all, a few of the animals they ran away, and then the hunter was really upset with Narad Muni, and he said, "What did you do? You away." So Narad Muni just looked at him compassionately, and he asked him, "Why do you have killed them?" Hunter said, "Well, this is how I've been taught by my fathers and forefathers, and this gives me pleasure." Narad Muni said, "If you want to kill them fully. At least you will suffer in the hell for lesser time if you kill them fully. But now you're going to suffer for a long time." So just this much association with Narad Muni. And no preaching also. And the heart of the hunter changed. And he asked Narad Muni, "Oh, I'm going to suffer in hell for this?" Narad Muni said, "Yeah, well, if you're giving them so much of suffering, you are going to suffer in hell." So hunter said, what's the way out?" Narad Muni said, "First you give up your bow and arrow." Hunter said, "How am I going to live?" Narad Muni said, "You think the bow and arrow is giving you? The Lord is giving you." So hunter said, "Okay." He fully surrendered. And then he had said, "What do I have to do?" Narad Muni said, "You just give up all the money that you've accumulated by killing all these animals. Just put on one piece of cloth and go make a hut, live in there, and keep one tulsi outside the hut and chant the names of the Lord. And I will send you food every day. Of course, Narad Muni, if he is promising, obviously Krishna is fulfilling the promise. So when the villagers, they came to know, come and see him every day. They started coming, seeing him and taking association from him, and they would bring the foodstuffs every day from him because they knew this Sadhu Baba, he doesn't have even a kitchen or anything. He's not making anything. So after a few days, Narad Muni and his friend Parvat Muni, they wanted to come and see this hunter. So they came, they were at a little distance, and the hunter saw his guru, Narad Muni, is approaching. So he got up and he started running towards Narad Muni, but then he just sat down and he was wiping the ground with his chadar. Parvat Muni got surprised. What is this he's doing? Crawling on the ground. And on them, he didn't want to step on them. He didn't want to kill them. So he's moving them away with this chadar so he can come here. So this was a change in the hunter. He got so changed just by a few moments of association with Narad Muni that on one side he was half killing the animals, and so that is a change. And this is what Parikshit Maharaj is saying. Just by your association, just by being with you, all the sins and sinful inclinations go. One is recommended, therefore, to associate only with saintly devotees so that worldly demons and ghosts cannot exert their sinister influence. Text 35. में भगवान प्रीतः कृष्णः पाण्डुसुतप्रियः पैतृष्वस्य प्रीत्यर्थं तद्गोत्रस्यात् बान्धवः. Lord Krishna, the personality of God, and who is very dear to the sons of King Pandu, has accepted me as one of those relatives just to please his great cousins and brothers. The humility, he's saying, I have no qualifications. It is because of my great-grandfathers that I have been given all this safety by Krishna, and you also have appeared because I have come in the family of great Pandavas. A pure and exclusive devotee of the Lord serves his family interest more dexterously than others who are attached to illusory family affairs. Generally, people are attached to family matters, and the whole economic impetus of human society is moving under the influence of family affection. Such deluded persons have no information that one can render better service to the family by becoming a devotee of the Lord. The Lord gives a special protection to the family members and descendants of a devotee, even though such members are themselves non-devotees. Maharaj Prahlad was a great devotee of the Lord, but his father, Hiranyakashipu, was a great atheist and declared enemy of the Lord. But despite all this, Hiranyakashipu was awarded salvation due to his being the father of Maharaj Prahlad. The Lord is so kind that he gives all protection to the family members of his devotee. And the devotee has no need to bother to discharge devotional service. Maharaj Yudhishthira and his brothers were the son of Kunti, the paternal aunt of Lord Krishna, and Maharaja Parikshit being the only great grandson of the great Pandavas. So Prabhupada is mentioning, if a person in the family becomes a devotee, Krishna becomes so obliged, he gives protection and all favors to those family members, even if they are not devotees. In case of other yogis like karma yogis or jnana yogis or hatha yogis, there's no such mention. But only in case of devotees, only in case of bhakti yogis, Krishna gives such protection and special consideration. And Prabhupada is writing, even if the devotee leaves such family members aside to discharge him, of course, testing will be there. I'm not saying the testing won't be there. Testing of faith will be there. Just like in our movement, one of Prabhupada's disciples, His Holiness Gaur Govind Maharaj, he was from Odisha. He was from Bhubaneswar. Odisha, not from Bhubaneswar, from Odisha. So he was he had this inclination towards devotion service from his very childhood. And when he got old, he was a school teacher and he had a family, but he was still looking for a guru. So somehow he happened to come to Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, Prabhupada had a Pandal program, and somehow Gaur Govind Maharaj came to know about Prabhupada. He went to meet Prabhupada. And when he entered Prabhupada's room, Prabhupada just asked him, have you been initiated yet? And Maharaj said, no. Prabhupada said, I'll give you initiation. And Prabhupada just gave him initiation. And after a few months, he gave him sannyas initiation, although he had a family. And now sannyas means no more connection with your family from previous ashram. And Prabhupada told him to go preach in Odisha, because in Odisha language, Prabhupada said, translate all my books in Odia language and go preach in Odisha. So Maharaj came to Bhubaneswar temple. So, and he was not at all in contact with his family. He was preaching probably in his village or near his village. And when some people from his village came by and they asked Maharaj that can you sign some papers? Because he was a school teacher in a government school before. He said, why? He said, because your family, your wife, ex-wife and kids, they are living in abject poverty. They don't have any money to survive on. If you can sign these papers, they will get your pension. So at least they will have something to fall back on, some money to live by. But Gaur Maharaj said, no, I will not sign, because I will not have any connection with my previous family members, and it is Krishna's duty to protect them, to maintain them, to provide for them. So he did not sign. But when Maharaj was giving lectures, so one young boy in the audience, he got up and he inquired, who is this Maharaj? He speaks so fluent Odia language and he is giving wonderful lectures. So then he is so and so, and he was from this village. And the boy inquired about his family, and the boy happened to be from a very wealthy family, and he took care of the family afterwards. So Krishna does maintain, Krishna does take care. Just we have to have that faith. That faith has to be there. And obviously, faith, our activities have to be in that order. And Krishna does take care of the family members. But that doesn't mean I'm not telling everybody to leave your family and go join the temple full time. And don't bother about the family anymore. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is Krishna does take care, but faith grow slowly, slowly, slowly. And then Krishna will make arrangements. Instead of us jumping into the conclusion, Krishna will make that. Let Krishna make the arrangements, and he will show how he takes care of the family. Text 36. Anyatha te avyakagate darshanam na katham nranam netram riye mananam sanchiddhasya vaniyasaha. Otherwise, without being inspired by Lord Krishna, how is it that you have voluntarily appeared here? Though you are moving incognito to the common man and are not visible to us who are on the verge of death. So here, Maharaja Parikshit is saying, I am very much favored by Krishna because he happened to be a cousin brother of my great grandfathers, my forefathers, who are very great devotees. And that's why, because he inspired you to come here, that's why you have appeared here. And in fact, it's right, actually. That's why that's why Sukadeva Goswami appeared. The great sage Sukadeva Goswami was certainly inspired by Lord Krishna to appear voluntarily before Maharaja Parikshit, the great devotee of the Lord, just to give him the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam. One can achieve the nucleus of the devotional service of the Lord by the mercy of the spiritual master and the personality of Godhead. The spiritual master is the manifested representative of the Lord to help one achieve ultimate success. One who is not authorized by the Lord cannot become a spiritual master. Srila Sukadeva Goswami is an authorized spiritual master, and thus he was inspired by the Lord to appear before Maharaja Parikshit and instruct him in the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam. One can achieve the ultimate success of going back to Godhead if he is favored by the Lord's sending his true representative. As soon as a true representative of the Lord is met by a devotee of the Lord, the devotee is assured a guarantee for going back to Godhead just after leaving the present body. This, however, depends on the sincerity of the devotee himself. The Lord is seated in the heart of all living beings, and thus he knows very well the moments of all individual persons. As soon as the Lord finds that a particular soul is very eager to go back to Godhead, the Lord at once sends his bona fide representative. The sincere devotee is thus assured by the Lord of going back to Godhead. The conclusion is that to get the assistance and help of a bona fide spiritual master means to receive the direct help of the Lord himself. So we have been so fortunate that Krishna sent Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada's followers, Prabhupada's associates have been helping all over the world people get into the path of bhakti and get the mercy of Prabhupada and other acharyas. So means they are clearing the path. They are assuring us that yes, you can go back to Godhead. Of course, Prabhupada does right here. It depends on the sincerity of the devotee himself. Prabhupada himself, he initiated about 10,000 disciples, but not everybody took up the path seriously. And so many other people also came in contact with Prabhupada. Of course, they got an impetus to bhakti, to start bhakti. Maybe if not in this lifetime, maybe some other lifetime they'll take it up seriously. In fact, there is another incident in Prabhupada, during Prabhupada's time. Prabhupada was in San Francisco, and it was very much in the beginning, and he was there for some time. And one hippie used to come, and he would come every day to meet Prabhupada, to see Prabhupada, and to be in the association. And devotees would ask him to start chanting, and he would not chant. But he would come every day to see Prabhupada, to listen to Prabhupada, to take darshan. And after many days, he kept on coming. And then one day Prabhupada, in the class, he told him, For the last 700 lifetimes, I'm trying to change you, but you are not changing. Means 700 lifetimes that soul has been coming to Prabhupada, being very much attracted by Prabhupada, but he would not take up devotional service. But Prabhupada also didn't leave him, and he didn't leave Prabhupada. But he's not taking the steps further. So maybe some lifetime he would do that. But this Prabhupada like kind of shouted at him, but he still won't budge. But that's okay. That's his karmas or his sanskaras are like that. What can be done? So anyway, I'll stop here, and I'm pretty sure Vanda Mataji has questions on the chanting part because I wrote a long message. That's why I'm stopping it early today.
Prabhuji, I have not read it yet. I have to read it.
Okay.
Yes, questions I have written in the group. Let's see if after reading your message, if I still have doubts, I'll definitely write back to you.
Okay, sure. Actually, about the offenses while chanting, inattentive chanting is the bonus offense. Actually, it's not even in the list of 10 offenses. But because of inattentive chanting, we tend to commit other offenses. But at the same time, even offensive chanting, or then the next stage is Nam Abhas stage, means the glimpse of the holy name. And then there's a Shuddha Nam stage where we chant with purity, love, and devotion. So that stage comes much later, Shuddha Nam stage, much later. Even if it can come to glimpse of the holy name, Nam Abhas chanting. In the meanwhile, even if we are chanting offensively, meanwhile Krishna is very merciful and Prabhupada is very merciful. They can give us some glimpse once in a while of what a pure name would look like. What if you chant purely, then what will happen? Sometimes we get some feeling when we're chanting. So we get some feeling of pure chanting, some feeling of some realization, some inspiration, something we get, some revelation we get. So that gives us impetus. And of course, if we still keep on committing offenses, then there'll be a break. Then there'll be offenses are like obstacles. They create obstacles on the path of devotion service. It won't just bhakti cannot finish because it's a spiritual activity. It cannot just finish. It brings an obstacle. So once the obstacles are over, maybe this lifetime, maybe next lifetime, whenever, and depending upon how many offenses we have committed, then again we take up the process. So, and once we get to offenseless chanting, or Shuddha Nam, pure chanting, then obviously all these anarthas, all these reactions of offensive chanting, they are long gone. In fact, it is said one name of Krishna, chanting of one name of Krishna can remove so many sins, not offenses, but sins, or reactions of sins that we can't even think of committing. Forget about committing. Can't even think of committing. So, and for the offenses, if we are really considerate, if we are really conscious of the offenses, we should beg for forgiveness. If we have committed against somebody, from him, if we have committed against the holy name, we can beg for forgiveness from the holy name, and we can pray to Krishna, please give me some taste for chanting attentively. So that is conscious or active chanting. We try to chant passively or mechanically or in a routine manner. That's where the problem is. So anyway, we all have experienced inattentive chanting, but let us experience the active, attentive, conscious chanting, not just completing a round. You'll see the difference. Definitely the difference will be there. The Mahaprabhu himself said, Chetodarpan Marjana will happen by this chanting only. And further benefits will happen by chanting only. Okay, so I'll stop here. And anybody has any other questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. What is the verse number of the, the verse you told about a person who tries to, take the path of devotional service and the Lord protects his family?
Okay, Baba, I'm not a Vedic encyclopedia. I don't remember.
But it might help to, and make my family a little bit understand about if they try to follow it, so they won't be, insecure. So just wanted to know.
It's actually Prabhupada wrote it in the purport, and it basically comes from Prahlad Maharaj's incident when Hiranyakashipu was killed, and Prahlad Maharaj was saved. Prahlad Maharaj asked for forgiveness for Hiranyakashipu from Nrsimhadev. Then Nrsimhadev said, "I have already liberated him." He told him, "Your 21 generations are liberated."
So Prabhuji, this whatever you mentioned, it was in the purport of a verse, right?
Today, yes, but from Prahlad Maharaj incident, it's in the verse itself. If you want, I can
Okay,
find
so
it.
just wanted to know today's verse.
Okay, today is 119.
Okay, and okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji.
You will. Okay, so I guess we can stop here. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.